You might be wondering how I got myself into this rather frustrating situation. Well, almost 2 years ago, I took ownership of this abandoned allotment, and over those almost 2 years, along with the help of my family, I've been working to bring it back to life. And here's where we ended in the last video, after securing the plot so we could bring our dog and making some no-dig beds on the left hand side, ready for planting. And in this video, I need to get planting some potatoes, plant out the sweet peas we sowed at the end of last year, and do something with this eyesore, but not before we finish off our no-dig beds. I cleared everything that was being stored on top of the tarpaulin to keep it down, like slabs, bricks and other bits and bobs. Then I took up the tarpaulin, which had done its job of keeping the ground clear from weeds. I then dug around the edges to give me a good line to run my strimmer across to prevent the grass from creeping in, before levelling the ground with a rake.
Down to every minute, don't know what I was sipping, but I felt like I was doing fine. Oh my. Turns out that I just got a little bit south, just a little bit north of the Georgia line.
I'm laying cardboard down to suppress the weeds, and in this back right corner I could see there was a lot of twitch, and rather than bust a gut trying to dig it out, I thought I'd double layer the cardboard. Try get through that, you persistent bat.
Little too much southern comfort, hanging with my friends all playing games. We all started at a full house, ended up just me and good old James. I could have swore that I was winning, kinda had a feeling. Last thing I remember, I was drinking till the moon shined. Oh my. Turns out that I just got a little bit south, just a little.
Yeah. If you're planning on doing no-dig beds with a cardboard layer first like this, try to avoid doing it on a windy day. Or if you really have to, put some wooden stakes in to pin the cardboard down. Once the cardboard was laid out, I could start adding my wood chip and compost. Now I did have to do this in stages as I hadn't bought enough cardboard. So I made these 3 beds, then ordered some more cardboard. It arrived a few days later, and I came back to finish off. And just like that, we have our no-dig beds made, ready to start this year's planting. And we're starting off not with the sexiest of vegetables, but it's a kitchen staple. It's the humble potato. I raked over the top layer of compost to make it more uniform, then placed out the potatoes where I would eventually plant them, and then I planted them, I suppose. You might be wondering why I'm not doing the usual thing of mounding the potatoes up. Well, if you've been listening, which I thought you might have been, I'm doing no dig, so I'm simply planting them into level compost, and I'll come along later, once they've started growing, just to top them off with fresh compost to stop any growing potatoes that are pushed up above the dirt or compost from getting sun damaged. And that's where they'll stay for about 10 to 12 weeks before we harvest them. Now it's time to prep the other beds and get our main crop potatoes in. When I made these beds, I only put a small layer of compost on top, probably about 1 inch to 2 inches. That was just to get the spacing right, So now I'm topping each bed off with a fresh layer of compost.
The sheriff's drawing harder than the sun. Didn't see it coming lately, I've been on the run. You know you've seen my face before, so let me tell you something. Darling, you fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land. And if you run with me, you got to understand that you're holding on to a dangerous hand. If I want it.
Now it's time to get these bad boys in the ground. We just need to do 3 lines and just evenly space them out that way and give about 30 centimetres. Say you want to, on your side, yeah, perfect, start about there. Just distribute them. One in the middle, that's it. And then do it like that. Yeah, that's alright. This way is more important about distribution.
We'll leave them in the crimson streets, darling. You fell in love with the famous man. See my pictures posted everywhere across the land. And if you run with me, you got to understand that you're holding on to a dangerous hand. If I want it, would you still want me?
I built this archway early last year, and on the other side I planted a wisteria, which is doing well climbing up the trellis. But I want a burst of fragrance while you walk under the archway, so I'm going to plant some sweet peas on this side. All being well, they'll climb up, soften the edges of the archway, and invite you into the back section of the plot, which is for cut flowers, and hopefully encourage us to take a seat and spend a little time enjoying the fruits of our labour. The sweet peas I'm using were sown in early November last year. I planted them in toilet rolls, which I'd placed in pots to keep them upright, before using a multi-purpose compost to fill them. Sweet peas roots go down deep, so this is a really easy method to aid their roots to go down. And when they're ready, you simply take the rolls out and plant them straight into the ground. Eventually, the moisture in the soil will break them down. And after they were all in the ground, I gave them a drink of water to see them on their way. Then I moved on to my second lot of sweet peas, which are going to climb another trellis I put down the side of my shed in the last video. This is partly here to keep my dog Basil from escaping when we bring him down here. I placed some cardboard down before topping with fresh compost. I'm doing no dig, I have already told you this, before separating each plant and getting them in the ground. Now it's been a few weeks after making the NoDig beds on the left hand side of the plot, the weeds had started to rear their head, so before they could take over, I knew I had to spend a few hours to get on top of them. In late March last year, I sowed some apple seeds, and now they've had a chance to get established, it's time to pot them on. This was a really proud moment. Trees! We've actually grown trees! Now onto the final job, which is to tidy this back left section, which is currently a dumping ground for all the stuff I can't think of what to do with, as well as a bug hotel. Everything needs to go, so sorry bugs, but the bug hotel will be opening back up right next to the water tank. I need to lay some slabs down to create a hard standing, ready for a secret project, which you'll see in the next video. So if you've made it this far, maybe possibly consider subscribing if you don't want to miss what the secret project is. Once everything was cleared, I dug some trenches to lay some wooden guides. These were protruding just above the dirt. They'll make it easy to level the sharp sand, which the slabs will be laid on top of. And there we have it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.